So for a little context, MX has been around for 10 plus years. Our mission is empowering the world to be financially strong. And that absolutely starts with the idea of access. Access means customer transparency. Access means choice. And we've had now 10 years of enabling people to engage with their money in ways that improve their outcomes. So our business model relies on permission-secure access, as it's what we do with the data. That's like where we built our business. We enable verifications, we enable data enhancement, and all of this is fuel for great money management software and solutions. So this is what we've been driving for the last 10 years, working with banks and credit unions and fintechs. And it all begins with access. So access improves product options for consumers because basically products don't work without permissioned, secure, and accurate data. If you think how everyone is different, and basically everyone is different at different life stages. So an app that you need now as a newlywed may not work to improve your financial outcomes 5 years from now when you have a family. So the portability of your data ensures that you can make the most of different product offerings out there at the time that you need them versus a one-stop shop where you're locked in for life. So MX is deeply involved in the promotion of open finance and open banking to both the public and to policymakers and regulators. If you think about what's happened recently, there's been this massive unbundling of financial services in the US. I think basically access has never been more open. It's a great time and frankly a crucial time for public engagement. Again, going back to our mission, empowering the world to be financially strong, we are looking to impact outcomes for customers, not just optimizing the ecosystem. So we've dedicated some pretty significant resources to oversee our public policy initiatives, including federal, state, and local government relations. We're advocating for customer voice, and really highlighting the need for education, again, across multiple different stakeholders, especially in the context of things like privacy, portability, and decentralization of finances. So there is a ton going on that we're doing directly, but obviously we're an active member with FDATA and appreciate everything that you do, as well as other industry working groups like FDX, FTA, and other organizations who are working together to advance open finance. So we're excited for where the industry is and very much looking forward to momentum happening. So policymakers need to act now because so many of the laws and regulations that have been put in place were put in place a really long time ago, sometimes 1800s, right? So going back to even 30 years ago, the industry has changed so much from when banks were that one-stop shop for payments or lending and deposits. So when you think of innovation, you don't want regulators and policymakers to stifle innovation, but they do need to be working alongside. So a regulatory regime that acknowledges non-banks and other providers as equal and legitimate members of the financial ecosystem, and other countries have done that already. And I think at the core of why policymakers need to act now is that the US is really kind of behind in terms of some of the big moves that have been made. And I always sound parochial when I reference Australia, but Australia passing a consumer data right from which financial services and then telecommunications and energy and other industries need to follow was a really firm stake in the ground. Obviously in Europe, there's been different activity between open banking in the UK and PSD2 across Europe. There's a lot of learning that's happened globally, but the US is still a little behind when it comes to these bold policy moves. But we think a clear cross-agency regulatory framework will actually accelerate the adoption of both open banking and innovation for the whole to impact the financial health for Americans.